Viewers, there are some truisms that you just can't get away from. Battles are fought by soldiers on the ground, but a war is always won in the mind. Joan of Arc, the heroine of the 100 Years' War between the French and the British, immortalized these words. Closer home, in 1857, the whisper of beef and pork tallow turned sepoys against British colonizers. That was the power, viewers, of what control of the mind can actually do. The mutiny almost won us our independence. Psyops are as old as history. The point of these examples is to stress that while you might need hands to hold a gun, you need a mind that is firmly focused on the cause to pull the trigger. In modern times, there's no cause greater than fighting for your country. And that's why tonight it devolves upon all of us to think about a tweet put out by Congress Prime Ministerial candidate Rahul Gandhi. Viewers, we're about 6 months away from the elections, the general elections. And the man in the middle of your screens is aspiring to be Prime Minister. The army was so obviously concerned about the impact of his remarks on Twitter on the morale of our forces that it had to tweet. It was forced to enter the political theatre. Now this is verging on the unprecedented. The army in India holds itself to the highest professional standards. Unlike failed state Pakistan, the Indian army is above politics, viewers. But Rahul Gandhi's tweet had to be rebutted. After the martyrdom of the soldier on Siachen, Rahul Gandhi implied that the Agniveer policy, the recruitment policy, leaves the family of a martyred soldier without any financial recourse. That, in a sense, there was little value in laying down your life for your nation. Imagine, viewers, if that message became embedded in a soldier's mind. But first, let's just take you through that very concerning tweet by Rahul Gandhi. What does he say? He says, the news of the martyrdom of Agniveer Gawate Akshay Laxman in Siachen is very sad. My deepest condolences to his family. A young man was martyred for the country, no gratuity, no other military facilities during his service, and no pension to his family in martyrdom. Agniveer, there is a plan to insult the heroes of India. Viewers, the impact of the statement could have the effect of dissuading potential recruits from joining the forces, or worse, could play upon the minds of soldiers in combat situations, forcing them to put self above service. Why would you want to die for a cause that will go unheralded? The army realized the harmful impact of the tweet on the morale of our servicemen and tweeted to fact-check Rahul Gandhi within hours of Rahul Gandhi making those remarks. So what has the army said? Viewers, the army has said that it pays out non-contributory insurance of 48 lakhs. It's not as if an Agniveer goes unheralded. 30% of Seva Nidhi contribution matching government contribution plus interest. An ex gratia payment of 44 lakhs. The pay of balance tenure around 13 lakhs. Battle Casualty Fund 8 lakhs. AWWA assistance worth 30,000 rupees. I'm not saying, viewers, that this is a princely sum of money. But to say that there is nothing at the end of a martyrdom is to distort the facts in a way that could actually have a terrible impact on the morale of young men who have chosen to serve this country. What the Congress chooses to ignore is that the Agniveer emolument policy is only marginally different from its older variants. Agniveer gets a lump sum of 11.71 lakh after 4 years, while retired soldiers get lump sum as gratuity. No canteen medical services for Agniveers, yes, that's been done away with, and no lifetime pension post-retirement for Agniveers. But they are released into society within 4 years as young men with a corpus of funds. Many leading military powers also have Agniveer-like policies, but you won't see many mainstream politicians in those countries going out of their way to convince military men that their sacrifices are destined to go unrewarded by an apathetic state. Let me walk you through the policies in other nations. In the United States, male citizens aged 18 to 25 are required to register for selective service. Viewers. Recruits are enrolled for 4 years and must serve 4-year reserve period. Army officer offers a bonus of $35,000 in all career fields to new recruits. You are only eligible for a pension if you serve 20 years in the forces. Let's look at the case of Russia. Uses a hybrid model of conscription and contracting. Conscripts serve 1-year term before being put in reserve. Contract soldiers are assigned to critical battle positions. And again, you can only claim your pension in Russia after actually serving for 20 years or more in the military. Israel conscription model since independence in 1948. Males must serve 30 months of mandatory service. Women must serve 24 months of mandatory service. Viewers, the Agniveer policy is not very different from some of these other frontline battle states. And therefore, some questions arise. Shouldn't Rahul Gandhi have fact-checked before tweeting? After the army's fact-check, shouldn't Rahul set the record straight? Perhaps tweet and say, look, I got it a bit wrong? Does Rahul's silence expose an attempt to politicize the forces, to divide them, to create dissonance? Wouldn't unfounded remarks shake the faith of new recruits? Viewers, let's get to our big debate. Has the Indian Sena been made a political prop tonight? That's coming up, and it's coming up in just a minute. It's been brought to us by Motorola. Viewers, we're putting that out.
Hello, Moto.
Viewers, let's open this up without delay. This is a very important subject, and we have to be extremely sensitive in the manner in which we deal with it. I'm going to begin first with ex-DG of the Infantry, General Kulkarni. I don't want him to be embroiled in the larger political debate. So, General Saab, I want to bring you in, and I want to ask you, why do you believe that the army took the unprecedented step of immediately tweeting a clarification? Do you think that this tweet by Rahul Gandhi had the potential, sir, unfounded as it perhaps was on facts, after comparing it to what the army has said, to dent the morale of our forces?
Rahul, thank you very much. At the outset, I must say, there were 2 incidents which occurred, one after the other. And the first incident, of course, I think most people weren't aware that a person who commits suicide is not entitled to all that. Probably the people understood that maybe is martyred. Secondly, the word martyred, shaheed, shahadat is not what is used in the army, because all of us use it as in the line of duty, because these words are seen as connotations attached to some religion or something. So we avoid all that. Thirdly, the army is apolitical. We are not really concerned about anything like that. Fourthly, it's very important that the terms of engagement. Everybody knows when he becomes an Agniveer, what are his terms of engagement. And is, while on duty, there is no discrimination. I repeat the word, no discrimination whatsoever while on duty. Well, the Agniveer is there for 4 years. As of the present terms of engagement, after 4 years, 25% would be taken in. If there are any changes of the terms of engagement, that is subsequent. The next thing comes on the boy who passed away at Siachen. Well, it can happen anywhere, anytime. It's nothing very distinct. There's nothing to do with training. The training is perfect, as good as it was earlier. And even before they inducted into Siachen or into this difficult area, they have undergone tremendous amount of training, and therefore there should be no finger pointed as regards the training is concerned. As regards the other aspects are concerned, which most people, you seem to have clarified it very well, there is no pension. Obviously, there is no pension to anybody of them, because once they become a sepoy, there's a subtle difference between the word Agniveer and a sepoy. Agniveer is not an ex-serviceman because he serves for 4 years. Now, this particular scheme was brought in with a view to select the best lot that would want to serve and continue to serve the army. So
Okay.
in that context, we see that the Agniveer scheme has been brought in with a view to sensitize the entire nation. Should there be lots of volunteers wanting to feel what army is or what the defense forces are all about, and for their own career progression, because a 4 year service in the army is a tremendous amount. You see a boy or a girl who was before having joined the army as Agniveer, and you see them after they pass out after 4 years. From there's a tremendous amount of difference. The confidence, the ability to execute a job, the response. There is so much of discipline and the desire to work for the nation. I can tell you, it's a sea change, world of a difference between a person who has joined the services before and after. In that context, when he leaves the Agniveer scheme, Agnipath scheme after 4 years, and he's given 15 lakhs as an ex gratia payment for having served while in service and all the other benefits, he gets a little corpus to start with, or if he doesn't, he uses that money whichever way he wishes to. It is entirely up to him. Plus, the government assures that all those balanced 75%, which today is 75%, it could be less, more tomorrow, one doesn't know about it, but 75% with various reservations in various other government jobs. So he or she, whoever wishes to get into another government job, be it in the paramilitary forces, be it in the railways, or be it in the private sector, wherever it is, these Agniveers have the ability to get absorbed, primarily because of the educational standards which were there before, and the educational standards which have been given a fillip because they would have gone through open universities and all, so that their own instructor, if it's a 12th standard, by the time he leaves, he will become a graduate. If it's a 10th standard, by the time he leaves, he would have been intermediate. So there's a lot that is being done to ensure that when he goes out, he settles down well, is better educated, better equipped, better skilled, and he becomes a good citizen of this country. So that is what it is.
Okay, so given that, General Saab, do you believe that this particular tweet is a misrepresentation of what is actually going to be?
This particular tweet of we are told is of Mr.
Rahul Gandhi.
Rahul Gandhi. I think it should have been avoided. It is avoidable, totally avoidable, for a simple reason. It's, well, you may have difference of opinion, you can have anything, but to say so that it would lead to morale or affecting morale or things of those kind, I don't think it really matters, because after all, that terms of engagement, and these terms of engagement are quite clear. Everybody knows what those terms of engagement are. There's no requirement to tweet that this particular scheme. Well, if you're not in favor, there would be quite a few not in favor of the scheme, many who are in favor of a scheme. These are terms of engagement. It's a scheme which has been introduced for
the charge is a young man was martyred for the country, no gratuity, no other military facilities during his service, and no pension for his family in martyrdom. How do you react to this specific? Agniveer is a plan to insult the heroes of India.
This particular thing probably maybe unawareness. Obviously, see, there's no, as I told you, there's nothing known as martyrdom or anything like that. It's all in the line of duty. That is firstly. Secondly, pension. In any case, there was no pension. Once you are part of the scheme and the terms of engagement, there is no pension. Obviously, there is no gratuity. It's very clear there is no gratuity. Obviously, there is no ECHS scheme than the canteen scheme. So it is very, very clear. When you take up a job, you take up an assignment, you know what your terms and conditions are, what are the terms of engagement, and you follow those. Now to say, well, this particular boy, Agniveer, has passed away, and therefore he's not entitled to this. I think it's very quite obvious what is there to say so. Okay. And this is trying up to say, which is incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. When you know what the terms of engagement are, I think it is avoidable.
Well, General Saab, I want you to stay on with us, because there are going to be people who are going to bring out some facts of their own to try and sort of rationalize this. So I'll come to you at the end. I'm not going to involve you amongst the more politically minded. Of course, Dr. Ranganathan is not, but the others are political actors, so there will be a lot of commentary. So I'm going to bring you in a little later just to set the record straight and sum this up for all our viewers. So please stay on with me. You can keep your ears shut though, but do stay on with me. Let me open this up. Let me open this up because, you know, I'm tempted tonight to start with Sanjay Jha, but I won't. I won't, viewers.
Why is
Not
that?
because I don't like him.
Why is that?
I just feel that
Start with me.
I think we should start with
Clear
the
a
citizen.
confident view.
1 second. Let me start with the citizen on this show. We've spoken to the army man, the military man, and then I want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan. Let's try to get a citizen's view on what the general says is an unwarranted tweet. How does this play out in the public discourse? 1 second, sir, please. Now, let's not speak over each other because that's not fair. So I said, I'll bring in the political minds. All of you are very...
Anand is a political voice. Anand is a political
He's not a political voice, sir. Please. Does he subscribe to any political party? Does he have... I mean, he criticizes the BJP with greater facts. 1 second. He criticizes the BJP and Sanju Verma is here to testify this. She sometimes gets really upset with him.
Himself will be embarrassed.
Again, you see, this is the problem. In our country, viewers, if you have a view... 1 second. If you have... Okay. Now, Sanjay Jha has got tickled. I didn't mean to tickle you, Sanjay Jha.
No, it's a fact check.
One second. No, there are no facts here. The fact would be, was he a card-carrying member of the BJP? That's a fact. He's not. 1 minute. Dr. Ranganathan. First of all, just empty out your pockets so that everyone can see that you're not a card-carrying member of the BJP. So that's the fact. Why don't we start with an emptying out of your pockets?
Good evening, Rahul. Look, I'm neither a card-carrying member or, like my good friend Vivek, a placard-carrying member. But can I gently castigate you because you advised the good general to keep his ears closed? I'd much rather the good general kept his ears open, but a couple of my good friends on the panel kept their mouths shut for at least a couple of minutes to allow me to say what I want to say, because it's very important and very serious. But first of all, Rahul, my very sincere condolences at the tragic death of Agniveer Laxman ji at Siachen. His supreme sacrifice will not go in vain. I assure you of that. And it is equally tragic, I have to say this, that Rahul Gandhi should choose this very moment to indulge not only in petty politics, but also peddle shocking lies. Not for nothing, Rahul, do I call him an industrial scale liar. He claims, and I quote, "A young man was martyred for the country, no gratuity, no other military facilities during his service, and no pension to his family in martyrdom," unquote. Here are the facts, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. A, the next of kin of an Agniveer soldier who dies in battle received 48 lakhs as non-contributory insurance and an ex gratia of 44 lakh. B, they also receive Seva Nidhi contributed by the Agniveer with a matching contribution by the government along with interest. C, they also receive pay for the remaining years from the date of the tragic demise. D, they also get 8 lakhs from the Armed Forces Battle Casualty Fund. Rahul, I am neither an expert nor in the services, but let me say this, that the scheme has been made and ratified by those belonging to the armed services. And so for Rahul Gandhi to lie like this is also an insult to them, insinuating that they would not think of their fallen soldier. Yes, every scheme, old and new, will have differences in pension and contributions or insurance, and one can reason out and debate as to which scheme is better. But to say that Agniveer doesn't give any fallback to the bereaved family is vile and sickening. Rahul, I support the Agniveer scheme for the following reasons. Please bear with me because it's as important as clearing out Rahul or exposing his lies. Number one, the chiefs of all three wings of our armed forces are supporting it enthusiastically. And across decades, across different governments, I cannot think of a single instance where our chiefs have knowingly taken a decision not in the interest of either the armed forces or the nation. It follows that if they are supporting a recruitment scheme, that could have banged their heads together on this one and ironed out all possible impediments. Number two, and this was emphasized by the late General Rawat, the armed forces are not an employment scheme. They are not Manrega. In fact, they should be, and they are, one of the toughest places to gain entry. Only the best should be chosen and routinely tested so that they remain the best. It follows that if our military feels there should be multiple rounds of merit-based competition, it should be encouraged to implement such a policy. Number three, such recruitment schemes are followed by many nations. India is not an exception. China, Russia, France, USA, number 4, the world over. You want the youngest, the fittest, the best to be trained for all future eventualities as begets their fate as well as the fate of the nation. The UPSC and the IITs have a multi-level selection process. So why shouldn't the armed forces? Number 5, as far as the scheme is concerned, Rahul, you have a merit-based inclusion, after which you are trained for 4 years, and at the end of which you accumulate more than 10 lakhs and you get an opportunity to further compete for a position in the defense forces. For those who do not succeed at this second step, they come out of it with a degree, 10 lakhs, and a glowing certificate of having served the country when so young. I can't think of better takes on the CV of a 21-year-old than this. Can you? And finally, just 30 seconds, number 6. As for those like my good friends on the panel, worried that the trained and the battle-ready rejected in the second round would be instead recruited by underworld and terror organizations, I'm sorry, but this is absolute bunkum and ridiculous. As ridiculous as saying, once rejected for the national team for Olympic boxing or shot put, the tens of thousands of pugilists and shot putters would be recruited by stone pelters and thugs. So please, enough of lies and propaganda.
Please. What a ridiculous comparison.
Okay, now, hold on a second. Let me bring in Sanjay Jha and let me bring in the BJP spokesperson to square off. This is an important question, viewers, and please pay attention. Mr. Sanjay Jha, after the army's fact check, shouldn't Rahul Gandhi at least come out and say that, look, perhaps I got it a bit wrong on 3 counts. My tweet has the potential to perhaps spread disaffection in the ranks. As I began by saying that, and this is a truism, that battles are fought by soldiers on the ground, but a war is always won in the mind. Now, this kind of disinformation has the potential of doing what the Chinese, for example, try to do with their enemies, which is psyops, get into the minds of our soldiers to create some amount of dissonance. And we see all of that around the world. Should we become a 5th column in the advocacy of something like this? I don't think so. I don't know. So maybe he can just tweet and say, look, okay, I got it a bit wrong. I should be a little more careful. Or is the army lying? Why is he kept quiet?
Okay, Rahul, since you gave Lieutenant General Kulkarni and Mr. Ranganathan considerable time, I'll take half the time. But here's a public request to you to not interrupt me when I speak, and I will expose the bunkum being propagated on your show. Let me start. Number 1, Rahul Gandhi should not apologize because he's fighting for the soldiers of India. A young soldier is dead, and Rahul Gandhi is fighting for the compensation that his family deserves. Point number 1. Point number 2, you mentioned about Rahul Gandhi in the Congress trying to politicize this. You know, when Wing Commander Abhinandan was captured by the Pakistanis and later on released, who made posters of Wing Commander Abhinandan and then used it in a Lok Sabha campaign? The BJP. Who went, by the way, Satyapal Malik, the former governor of Jammu and Kashmir, talks about Pulwama, and he says he was asked to be quiet by the highest powers in this country. This is the hypocrisy, the fraud, and the duplicitousness of the BJP. Now, here are some names I'm going to give you, Rahul. You know what? None of us on the panel, other than Lieutenant General Kulkarni, probably has first-hand experience of what the soldiers need and what is good for the country. But I'll give you some eminent names, and they're important for your viewers and for you to know. Major Navdeep Singh, Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur, Major General G.D. Bakshi. He comes on our shows very often. Brigadier Madan, Major General Amrit Pal Singh, B.N. Sharma, Chief of the BSF Academy, Lieutenant General Vinod Bhatia, former DGMO, Lieutenant General Raj Kadyan, former Vice Chief of the Indian Army Staff. These are all people from the Indian Army and the Air Force. All of them, and I have 100 more names. I can repeat them if you like. They are all been critical of the Agniveer scheme. Why? Because there are flaws. And we are not debating the details of the scheme, but one of the biggest flaws in the scheme that the army pointed out is that after a period of time, just 4 years, you're going to ask 75% of the people to leave. Where are you going to get the commitment, and will 6 months of training be adequate? There are flaws. Yes, there is no pension. Yes, there is no gratuity. Where is Rahul Gandhi said a lie? In fact, the BJP is lying. The BJP, which actually feeds Mr. Adani's of the world with the biggest contracts, wants to save some money on a military budget. And this is a government talks about national security.
Okay.
Look at the state of Manipur. And this
don't bring in Manipur now. Don't bring in Manipur. Let's not go south and north and east and west. Just stick to your argument. Don't ruin it for yourself.
Yeah. So here is my last point, Rahul.
Yeah. Make your last.
End of day, Rahul Gandhi today is not just spoken as the leader of the opposition. He's spoken as a voice, by the way, of the young soldiers of our country.
Right.
By the way, let me tell you, in Himachal Pradesh.
One second.
In Himachal Pradesh, the people of Himachal Pradesh voted out the BJP.
One second. Let's not get anecdotal. Please. Let's be focused on the debate. Let's stick to the facts.
Sure.
I just want to say one thing, viewers. That the army has gone on record here. We are forgetting that the army has gone on record. It's not often that the army comes out and says, hang on, we are defending our honor with our facts. Secondly, I just want to say that a large number of army men might have come out and pointed out a flaw, but that's a good thing, viewers. We're in a democracy. It's not as if their views were not heard. The 3 serving chiefs took in the feedback and then devised this policy, which is in line with the world's leading armies. This is not something that has been plucked out of, the mind of some ill-informed person. This has been thought through, and there was a reason for it, and this debate is not really about that. But no one has answered the fundamental question. The fact that he got it wrong on this matter, he didn't talk about the general Agniveer, he talked about a martyred Agniveer. And in the context of that, he said, no gratuity, no this, no that, nothing. Now, viewers, that is what the army took exception to. You can come and have a debate about the Agniveer policy, whether you like it or not. It's an open democracy, viewers. But as I told you, wars are not really about, at some level, going out there and pulling a trigger. You fight for a cause. And if someone is, and that cause is your nation, and if someone makes you think that your nation is not rewarding you, you're not going to be able to pull that trigger, viewers. This is the problem. In any case, Sanju Verma, you need to respond on facts and points to the Congress representative here on the show, Sanjay Jha.
Rahul, 25 minutes into the show, I hope you won't rush me up because I need to make some, yes, thank you. I need to make some pertinent points.
Yeah.
And it does not matter that I'm the national spokesperson of the BJP and the card-carrying member of the BJP. The fact of the matter is that there are some things which are not in grey. They are either black or white. And I will expose this jhoot ka godown, this nafrat ki factory called Rahul Gandhi, who goes tom-tomming around town that मैं नफरत के बाजार में मोहब्बत की दुकान खोलने आया हूं, but this man is an ignoramus, clueless, or deviously pretends to be so. First and foremost, let me tell you that way back in 1999, the Kargil War Committee, the Kargil War Commission as it is called, and I'm quoting ad verbatim because this is a show based on hard facts and I am not going to add or delete even a comma or a full stop. This is what the Kargil War Review Committee said. It said, the army must be young and fit at all times. Therefore, instead of the present practice of having 17 years of color service, as has been the policy since 1976, it would be advisable to reduce the color service to a period of 7 to 10 years or lower, and thereafter release these officers and men for service in the country's paramilitary formations. This was the Kargil War Commission report way back in 1999, but wait, I will expose the Congress and this jhoot ka godown Rahul Gandhi. When his father Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, at that time, one of Rajiv Gandhi's cabinet colleagues, Arun Singh, recommended the lowering of age limit. And there is more. As per the 6th Pay Commission in 2006, again in 2006, it was the Congress-led UPA under the aegis of Manmohan Singh that was in power. And what did the Sixth Pay Commission recommendation say in 2006? It asked for a drastic reduction, in the overall age profile of some of the personnel within the armed forces to ensure that the armed forces are leaner, fitter and meaner. So point number one, the Agniveer/Agnipath scheme is a paradigm shift in the human resource management of the armed forces. On average, it brings down the age of the armed forces in various categories from 32 years to as low as 26 years. Point number three, as Lieutenant General Kulkarni mentioned, this is a voluntary scheme. Nobody is putting a gun to your head and saying that you are mandated to be, joining the armed forces, unlike in places like Israel or US, where, in a lot of places under certain conditions, mandatory compulsory conscription within the armed forces is there in public domain and is a must. Point number four, let me tell you that this is something that Nirmala Sitharaman has said on the floor of the House, and I challenge anyone to negate this. When asked a related question, she said that on an average, the budget for defense in India is about 5.25 lakh crores. And what is the spend on pensions alone in a single year? This
Okay.
up to 1.2 lakh crore, which means 23% of the defense expenditure in a given year is spent on the pension of armed forces. So, if the government makes a bona fide policy with bona fide intent to lower the age profile of the armed forces, to inculcate in them a sense of patriotism, duty, what have you, to impart world-class training to them so that they are fitter and more skilled than anyone could ever be when they step in after 4 years into the general employment domain. Why should anyone have a problem? But last but not the least, Rahul Gandhi today, who says कि उनके दिल में बहुत दर्द उमड़ रहा है for Gawate Akshay Laxman ji. Where was Rahul Gandhi? Rahul Shiv Shankar, I ask you. Whereas recently in March 2023, there were 3 Pulwama widows, and I will name them, and give me 20 seconds, I will call out the bluff. There was Manju Lamba, the widow of Rohit Lamba, our martyr. There was Sundari Gujjar, the widow of Jeet Ram Gujjar, another martyr. And there was Madhubala Meena, another widow of our martyr Hemraj Meena. These 3 ladies, Madhubala Meena, Sundari Gujjar and Manju Lamba, were dragged, beaten up by male policemen, manhandled and left to die in a hospital miles away from the Jaipur Shaheed Smarak, where they were peacefully protesting to be given the dues that were promised by the Ashok Gehlot government to the widows and kith and kin of Pulwama martyrs. In Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot's police brazenly manhandles the widows of Pulwama martyrs, and आज Rahul Gandhi, at that time Rahul Gandhi के मुंह में दही जम गया. He was in Fevicol mode, and today the same Rahul Gandhi is saying that Agnipath and Agniveer scheme is an insult to the heroes of India. Rahul Gandhi, I want to ask you.
Okay.
You know, when Rajnath Singh, please, I want to take 10 seconds more.
Okay,
Rahul
10
Gandhi,
seconds.
I want to ask you a simple question through Rahul Shiv Shankar's show. Sanjay Jha, your turn will come. I did not heckle you. Hold your horses. अभी तो मैं शुरू हुई हूँ. Wait for 10 seconds more. Rahul Gandhi, I want to ask you. Can you please ask this man to
No,
keep
Sanjay
quiet?
Jha, no one
I
interrupted
did
you.
not heckle him.
Everyone waited their turn. This is not fair. Please, let's not do that.
Thank you.
10 minutes on
Thank
gibberish.
But I can't help it
Thank
if she
you.
has the facts and you have the rhetoric. Now, what can I do about it? You could have taken 12
Thank you.
minutes.
Oh, really?
I never
Thank you.
stopped you.
Really?
Did I intervene?
Thank you.
I didn't intervene.
May I?
I finished. I
May I?
listened. Everyone seen that. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Rahul. I speak only back
So
by
10
data and
seconds.
hard
Come on.
facts.
Yeah.
I'm finishing in 10 seconds. Please bear with me. The Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, the Home Minister Amit Shah, the PRO of the Indian Armed
10
Forces,
seconds
all
is
in
over.
one voice said that
Rahul,
not
10
an inch
seconds
of
is
land
over.
has been taken. But what did Rahul Gandhi say? He said, चीन की
Right to
सेना
be heard
हमारे
of.
घर के अंदर
Okay.
घुसकर
Okay, let's
हमारी
stick to
सेना
the-
की पिटाई की है.
Okay, yeah.
हमारी सेना की पिटाई की
Right
है.
to be
Okay,
This is the
okay.
deplorable language
Okay.
used by Rahul Gandhi.
Let's now get very quickly Sanjay Jha reaction from you. I want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan because he is raising his hand, and Vivek Srivastava last. Yes.
Rahul, a short rejoinder.
Yeah.
It is such a tragic day today, but look at the repugnant arrogance of the BJP. The spokesperson of the program comes and says, you know what? This is not like a conscripted service in Israel. It's voluntary, so people should know what
Yes,
they're
sir,
getting
it is
into.
voluntary.
I mean, this is
I don't
pathetic.
deny
But it's a
that
fact.
Agniveer
It's a
is-
fact.
Agniveer
No
is
one is
voluntary.
forcing you to
minute,
fight a
1 minute,
battle
1 minute.
anywhere.
It's a
One second, one
voluntary
second.
Can I speak?
I don't
It's a
see.
voluntary
One second,
stream.
one second,
Now,
please.
can you
Let him
tell
finish.
how to pipe down?
Let him finish. Sanju Verma,
Tell
please.
how to pipe down?
Sanju Verma, please. Let him finish. You can respond to him.
Suspended variety पढ़ लिख कर आया
Sanju
करो।
Verma, 1 second, please. 1 second. Let him finish. Yeah, quickly. 10 seconds, sir. You said a short one, so come on.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is a short one. I hope that to the viewers of the program,
Yeah.
look at the ugly hypocrisy of the BJP. When a soldier is dead, you know what is their defense? They should have known what the rules are.
Okay,
I mean,
one
can you
second,
imagine
one
how
second, one
crude
second. I understand the
and
point you're
vulgar
trying
this
to make
party
here,
has
but
become?
so did General Kulkarni say that.
Cheap and
Excuse
vulgar.
me,
What about
General,
Sanjay
1
Jha?
second, please. Even General Kulkarni put the facts out there. Viewers, we are not Israel, where or Spain or some other countries like Russia, where
But
you're
is that an
forced into.
excuse
1
to
second,
humiliate
Sanjay
your
Jha,
soldiers?
please now look. Let's stick to the facts. You're wrong on facts there. She only stated a fact. She stated a fact that General Kulkarni has stated. It's a fact on the
Yeah,
books that
but
you
how can
sign
use
up.
that to-
Excuse me,
how can
sir.
you use that to humiliate your own
Excuse me.
soldiers?
No,
You're
sir,
not
please.
giving them financial
Sanjay Jha,
compensation.
Sanjay Jha, please.
That is
The
the
man
issue.
has got it
Rahul
wrong
Gandhi is the
tonight.
only one who's
Excuse me.
humiliating our armed
The man has
forces.
got it wrong
Not
tonight.
Sanju
Let the
Verma.
viewers decide
Rahul
who's
Gandhi
the
got a
good
fact
or not.
wrong. Now, my question was, which no one seems to be answering. Should he not come out and say, I got it wrong, given the import that his remarks
No, he hasn't
have?
got it wrong. He has not got it wrong.
So obviously he hasn't.
He has not got
just
it
first,
wrong.
you guys work
He
out
hasn't
whether
got
you're
it
on the right side of Gandhi or you're on the left side of him. That is one thing that you need to first figure out. But tonight
All around
you will
Gandhi,
speak.
not around Savarkar.
Okay, one
No,
second,
what
one
they-
second. Let me
We-
just bring in
we are
Dr.
all
Ranganathan.
around
You
him.
were raising your hand. I ignored you back then. What was the point you were making? Sorry.
Rahul, I think a couple of your panelists who are good friends of ours must look at the title of your show. Please, what is the title? Hard facts. I gave 4 hard facts. Can any of those two rebut
So I'll
me?
counter your hard facts.
He's
Vivek,
coming.
please.
I'll
Bhaiya,
rebut you.
Pulwama
I'll
is a
rebut you
hard
exactly point to point.
चलिए.
Okay,
हाँ
so now-
बोलने दो मैं बताता हूँ
विवेक जी, आप बोलिए.
राहुल गांधी इज राइट राहुल गांधी इज राइट
My turn.
जी
I didn't-
अब आप सुनिए
अच्छा,
आनंद
उनकी
जी
पहले
आनंद जस्ट
उनकी
बी
बात
पेशेंट
तो
एंड
सुन
लिसन इट
लीजिए.
आउट
डॉक्टर साहब की बात तो सुन लो. Then you can rebut
हाँ,
him. You
बोलिए,
haven't let
बोलिए.
him finish his point.
बोलिए डॉक्टर
उन्होंने
साहब
शुरू नहीं किया. ट्रेन गाड़ी.
श्योर
Is it or
Station
is
से
it
निकली
not a
please.
fact?
प्लीज प्लीज
Is it or is it not a fact that the next of kin of an Agniveer soldier who dies in battle will receive rupees 48 lakhs as non-contributory insurance?
now let me counter it. Now can
Okay,
I
one
speak?
second.
And 44
Now can I counter
lakhs-
that?
No, everyone
Can I
else's
counter that
figures are
now?
down. Vivek Srivastava speaking. Yes. 48 lakhs मिले.
Now
मिलेंगे या
Anand,
नहीं
Anand
मिलेंगे
ji,
sir?
I'll अब I'm going to counter Anand ji now step by step. Number 1, non-contributory insurance तो छोटी छोटी प्राइवेट कंपनियां भी दे रही हैं देश में. What do you mean by non-contributory insurance? The cost is being borne by the insurance company. Is it being borne by Bharat Sarkar? Number 2, Dr. Ranganathan talked of Seva Nidhi. In Seva Nidhi, 30% of the salary of the Agniveer is going to be chopped off and taken by the government as a contribution. And some amount is going to be put by the government also. I'm not saying it. It is again very minuscule. आप उसी का पैसा उसी को वापस कर रहे हो, कह रहे हो we are returning you the interest also. Does it make any sense? That means 50-60 lakhs is actually not being given by the government. ये कहीं की ईंट कहीं का रोड़ा जो कर रहे हैं, Rahul Gandhi is right. We need to give much more. There is no pension.
No.
Gratuity is
Rahul
not
Gandhi
there.
said you
will
get
support
nothing.
the family.
No,
Sir,
one
sir,
second.
one
It would
please
have
let me
worked.
complete.
No,
You will
sorry.
give the money.
Srivastava
You will
sir.
give the money to the family. No, sir, listen to me now. सर मुझे बोलने दीजिए फिर इंटरप्ट करिए
बोलिए,
आप.
बोलिए.
सर मुझे कंप्लीट कर लेने दीजिए. आपने संजू वर्मा को बहुत
बोलिए सर, आप बोलिए.
Now you are going to support the family, you are going to give the salary, and you are going to support the family only till the remaining amount of service remains. Which means if the Agniveer dies after 3.5 years of service and only 6 months are left, you support the family only for 6 months. Now, keeping all these points in perspective, insurance is coming from insurance company, 30% Seva Nidhi is being given by the Jawan's salary himself, and you are not supporting the family in a very proper way. Pension aap dene wale nahi hai, gratuity hai nahi. Is it actually enough for an Agniveer? And if we talk in favor of the army, that doesn't mean we don't love the army, we don't love the nation, or we are going to help out a mutiny. No. Rahul Gandhi is right when he's raising the points.
Fair enough, I got it.
Yeah.
First of all, viewers, and I want to bring in the general now. One quick rebuttal from Anand Ranganathan. I just want the general to end this show by putting, or at least this part of the show, by putting it into perspective for us, the facts only. But 1 second, I just want to make one small point. First of all, viewers, it is not our case about measuring someone's sacrifice. Let me be very, very frank with you, viewers. There is no amount of compensation which can be enough for a person who takes a bullet for our country. And do you think he takes a bullet for our country because he thinks that he's going to get a compensation package at the end of it? No, viewers, he doesn't. He is motivated by an instinct that none of us display when we leave class 12. Which is that I want to serve my nation and I'm prepared to die for it. Anyone sitting here and lecturing us about kam hai, zyada hai, viewers, they never had that conscience call. So let's respect that first. This is not a person conscripted at gunpoint by the state and say, "Aao." This is a person who makes a choice that I will serve even if it means I take a bullet for my country because I believe in defending my country. This is not about how much anyone is getting. This, viewers, is a statement from an individual who says you get nothing. This is not about not getting enough. We can have that sensitive conversation about how much is enough. In my book, nothing is enough, viewers. Nothing is enough. Are you going to tell the mother of this young man that your 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore is going to suffice? No. She has lost the light of her eyes, viewers. No amount of money you put in front of her is going to bring that light back. So let's not make this about pences, paisa. This is about giving someone their respect. And when you say, viewers, when you say that a person is only signing up because he wants a transaction, you're disrespecting the person's choice, every army man serving. I want to ask the ex-DG here, the Lieutenant General, sir, when you signed up for the army, did you say, oh, I'm going to get a nice bangla, tax-free money, a pension, a this, a that, whatever you get. And that's why I'm going to get a Batman, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. What motivated you, sir, to serve our country? Can you just tell these individuals that?
Rahul, it's very, very important. You know, anybody who takes up the profession of arms is not taking it up because of money. He takes up because he's passionate about it. He wants to serve the nation in whatever fashion. He sees, he has that love for uniform. He sees his friends, everybody join the army, do something good, adventurous life. That's what it is all about. Well, money comes your way automatically. Now, did this little boy know anything about it? Absolutely no. Laxman didn't know that he's going to pass away tomorrow. He didn't know that his family is going to get a crore plus or something like that. He didn't bother for all that. He didn't join to die. He wanted to live. He wants to live. He's passionate about it. And in that context, I don't think we ever discuss money. Money is something which the government decides to give you so that this compensated the family is not seen wanted because he was an earning member, and therefore his passing away is a huge difference that would make to the family, and therefore that money comes to him. That's one part of it. The government takes care. But what's more important is his desire, and that is where he motivates his village. That is where he motivates his school, his college.
So when you make it about a transaction, what do, viewers? You start making that person think about joining the forces for all the wrong reasons. As General Rawat said, the forces are not an employment agency. I think Dr. Ranganathan made that point. I leave it at this, viewers. When we come back, we talk about the hostage crisis in Israel. But the left protests here in India against the Jewish nation. Have they forgotten the crimes of Hamas just to villainize Israel? That's the big question we're asking. Stay with us, don't go away.
Hello, Moto.